What's up, my friends? I'm coming to you another day here live from India, and I'm going to share something with you, and I know it's going to land with some of you. I know some of you really need this message, but not only do you need this message, you need to receive this. Like, you need to receive it, and you need to start living this way, because if you do, it will change everything forever. We're going to talk about how lack may be leading you, how you may have found yourself renting space in scarcity, right? Like, I remember one of my teachers would say, scared city, right? Like, you got to get out of there. So if you're hopping on this live with me, say hello so I know you're here. I love to know. It's like we're hanging out in a room together, an online room together. I want to know that you're here. And I'll tell you this. I told you I was in the vortex last night. I'm not even joking. Like, I was in it. And I felt so lit up. And I went downstairs and I'm thinking, like, I'm going to go downstairs and have dinner like I'm in Vegas or something. I'm at this quiet palace on the lake. And when I go downstairs, there's like nobody down there. But I had the best dinner. I ended up seeing a woman that I know. We had dinner and we were chatting. And I actually, as I was about to go to bed, I had this feeling that I should not leave tomorrow. I should stay another night. And I was supposed to fly to Delhi today, which is like the New York City of India. And I didn't feel like it. I didn't want to. I'm so supported here. Like, people like scoop my food for me here. They hang up my purse for me. They take care of everything. They draw my bath, right? They bring me whatever I want. I'm like, why? Why do I want to leave here? I want to stay. So I actually followed that feeling, even though I have a flight and all these things planned. And now I have another day here. So I'm here all day. I'm staying in the vortex, okay? Hi, Kat. Hi, Jessica. Hi, Charlene. So if you're on here, say hello. So we're going to talk about ways that lack is leading you and why you've got to cut the cord. Now, this is going to seem counterintuitive, like miracles usually do, right? But I find that you have to live in this like illogical, unrealistic way to break free from the ways that you live in lack, right? It's not going to make sense in the beginning. There's going to become a time where this is just natural, it's normal, and it makes sense. But for so many people, lack is leading the way because they are constantly making decisions from current perspective, right? So it's like this. When I was making decisions that I was going to go to these events that I would go to back when I was living with my daughter, we were on welfare, government assistance. Like, I was at the lowest low. And some people would say, you better keep all the money you have. Like, if you have a couple $100s that comes your way unexpectedly, you better hang on to it. You better do this. You better do that. I was like, how can I invest this in myself? Because there's obviously, I'm thinking in an error way. There's a way that I'm thinking that is not serving me. There's a way that I see myself that's not serving me. And it's time to change this, right? Now, even when in my business, I was making a couple $1,000s a month, like $4,000 or $5,000 a month, I was still like, okay, well, there's people making $10,000 a month. Hi, Jennifer. There were people that were making $10,000 a month. So I'm like, what do I have to do to think that way? What do I have to do? So I would still look at what I had, and I knew that wherever I was, it was a temporary situation. It's temporary. And I would make investments, make decisions from the place that I meant to be going, right? So I was not letting my lack, like the illusion of lack in that current moment, lead me. Because if I would keep choosing from that place, this is the beginning. Jennifer's like, I have to watch this from the beginning. I was talking about my, like, deciding to change my plans. But if I would keep choosing from where I was, I would keep creating more of what was, right? And for so many of you, you are choosing from your current paradigm. Your current paradigm is like basically your current reality, right? So whether you're making a few $1,000s a month, $10,000 a month, $15,000, $20,000 a month, $50,000 a month, if there's a new reality that you are choosing to be in, you cannot keep choosing from where you are. if you choose from where you are being led by what is currently. You create more of what is. It's law. This is just law. So what happens is this shows up in very sneaky ways. It shows up as being responsible. It shows up as being on a budget. It shows up as, well, this is what makes sense, right? It did not make sense for me today to cancel the plane ticket that I already had that was perfectly good. It did not make sense for me to get another hotel room here with my friend that, cost more money too, but it felt good. I know that I've been in the vortex staying here because of the way that people are treating me. And I was like, it just feels right, even though it's not logical. So we have to start dissecting the ways that we lead from lack. So some more ways that we lead from lack. When I hop on the phone with women that want to do private coaching with me or any sort of coaching, whether it's group program, whether it is a retreat, of course the desire is there or they would never even reach out from the beginning, right? So we have to first things first is we have to get in touch with the desire. You have a desire. Right now, I want you to think about in your laboratory of life, right where you are right now, what is a desire that is speaking to you? It's guiding you. Your desires are like little angel messengers tapping on your shoulder, telling you to go over there, call that person, read that book, drop that situation, lean closer to that situation. Your desires are here. And when you're connected to your feminine essence and you are living in that way, especially for you women, you are in touch with your desires. Now, what happens is how women get disconnected from themselves. They have a really juicy desire, but they're constantly shutting it down and telling themselves, no, I can't have it. No, it doesn't make sense. No, my husband doesn't say yes. No, my family will judge me if I do that. No, I don't have the money. You're leading from I don't have, I can't, and I don't know how. When you're doing that, you're cutting yourself off from, the really beautiful realms, the realms of miracles and how things can really unfold. There's so much of life that we don't understand. You don't understand how your body kept you alive while you were sleeping last night. Not every single way that the cells have been doing what they do, how your blood does what it does, how your lungs breathe and do all the things. You don't really know that much. So we can humble ourselves and come back into that space of, I don't know it all. I don't have to do it all. And it's the same thing when it comes to our money. It's the same thing when it comes to us living and being led by lack and being led by our current circumstances and situations, or we can take the time and create the space and begin to choose from a higher reality, right? All of the teachers that are up to, miracle work, from Dr. Joe Dispenza to, Abraham Hicks to Marianne Williamson, to all the teachers are always talking about these things, and they say it in their own distinctions. There's little distinctions. But it all comes back to universal law. And it comes back to the power that we get to create through our choices and through our thoughts and through our focus. And I want you to really start thinking about how many of your desires are you just snipping and cutting off and telling yourself no to because you are making that choice out of lack in what currently is, right? So I'm going to give you an example. Speaking to women, because right now I'm enrolling 3 more private clients. I'm taking on 4 for the first quarter, and it will be going on into the second quarter, but I'm taking on 4 private clients, and I have another one I spoke to today. But as I'm talking to these women, what comes up is, of course, this is a juicy yes. Of course, I want the support. Of course, I want your eyes in my business, your guidance in my life, all these things. But when it comes to the money, it's like a holy shit moment, right? Like, oh my gosh, am I worth that much? Oh my gosh, can I spend that much on myself? Oh my gosh, can I do this? Can I bet on myself this way? And in these moments, this is where we really get to choose. I say that every choice is a portal to a new possibility, right? Every yes is a portal to a new possibility. And I want you to think about that. A moment that you've said yes, it's like a portal opened, you get to walk in through a doorway and new possibilities are all over, right? You meet new people, there's new ideas, there's a way that you see things differently. Now, if you don't say yes to certain things, there is that portal, that new possibility doesn't happen, right? There's other things that you end up saying yes to, maybe more of what is already there, because you're choosing to keep staying in that same vibration, in that same space. But when you say yes to something big and juicy and there's this portal, to new possibility. We don't know what's on the other side yet. You don't know what's on the other side yet, but you have to be willing to say and choose that I am willing to follow this desire, explore what this portal is, explore the possibilities on the other side of this. And if you do, rarely do people regret making an investment in themselves, right? Whether it's going on a vacation that makes you feel amazing, going on a nice dinner with a girlfriend that is going to fill you up, whether it is going to buy a piece of jewelry that makes you feel beautiful every time you wear it. These little things that you may think are not important, they're important. And I know like one of the things that I made, we had to make up ways that we were going to celebrate when I just had this 2 days of business retreat. And in the 2 days, we had to put our 2 focuses that we're going to work on. And then at the end, we had to put what we were going to celebrate. And one of my celebrations was to take $3,000 and just spend it on myself shopping, which is not a lot. You could go and buy a bag. You could go buy, you could basically buy one thing. But I was like, I'm going to go do this, in March when I hit this goal. And I had a few of them. But it's like being able to take these things and say yes to ourselves in such a way. It does something to us as women. It helps us feel lit up, alive. We get to just fully express. And this is why not living in lack changes the game for us. It doesn't make us any less of a person by not having money. Absolutely not. But I really feel that you, as a fully expressed human being, deserves to be fully expressed in your financial state as well. And not just, I'm fully expressed in my relationship. I'm fully expressed with my friends. I'm fully expressed and I can be creative and I can paint. But can you be fully expressed that when something calls you and you feel called to be generous or be called to invest or called to experience, that you don't have to have that hold back because of money? And not necessarily because the money is in your bank account right now. This is the key. Like when I had this opportunity to join this program, like I said, it was 25,000. It's like 24. I don't even know how much it's like 24, 25,000. And then I looked at travel. I was like, travel's going to cost like another 12,000 at least. It's not that I had the 30 some $1,000 just sitting in my bank account. It wasn't just sitting there. And if you know what it's like to have a business, it's not like you know exactly what you're going to make every month. I do make a range every single month. But I had to be willing to just say, is this desire for me? Am I willing to grow into this desire? And not say this or that. And live in really that and space that I can have it all. And that takes courage. It takes faith. And it takes me choosing from the reality that I'm choosing to step into. And I want that for you. Let's see what happens here. Jennifer says, this has been my number one thing to move out. So you're going to move out. You got to tell me where you're living these days. I don't even know. Hi, Kat. Kat says, Def never regretted any investment in me. Here's the deal, my friends. And some of you, this may be for you, working with me in this 3-month container, because I still have space left and I would love to just take all of this energy and really help you move into your own vortex. Because the truth is that we are all here and we're living with these layers of possibility that are here for us. But what happens is subconsciously, we don't even realize we're doing this. We end up focusing on the lack. We focus on what has been. We focus on the past. We look around and we become so identified with what is current, and it's so temporary. I remember when I started my business and I was kind of having these really big ups and downs in my money. I mean, really big ups and downs. And I was having emotional ups and downs with it. And my friend, who was like, a 9-figure earner, is doing really well. He's one of my friends from Tony Robbins community. He was like, Nicole, you need to just laugh at your bank account. The shit's not real. And I was like, you know what? You're so fucking right. And that was a big game changer for me, because just like in Happy Pocket Full of Money, where it says your money's not real, even all the people that have the money on their apps, you look at your apps, you look at your investment accounts, you look at your banking accounts, you look at all the things, that money's not really there. Now, yes, you may understand that, but there becomes this deeper knowingness around this, that it's not there. So because we know that it's not there, we can begin to play with the money that shows that it's not there in my bank account is just as an illusion. Now, when we're creating money for things that we desire, we don't have to know how it's coming. We don't have to know how it's coming. But what happens is we have these, and this is for people, you can tell how deeply you know this by the way that you're living right now, right? So I want you to play with this. For the people that really get that the money is not real and that you can call it in and all these things, you say yes to stuff and you're expecting that the way shows up. You're expecting that the guidance shows up. This is what I do. I'm expecting that, okay, I don't have the money for this thing right now sitting in my bank account. I don't really have credit cards. I don't really do that. But I will know that it will come. I'm looking then, I'm expecting I'm going to get an email. I'm going to get a DM. Someone's going to reach out to me. The money's coming. I don't have to know how it's coming, but I know it's coming because I said yes to this thing. It's my desire. I know that the divine is supporting me. The divine is supporting you. So I'm living in that expectation. Now what happens is as you're strengthening these muscles, you're actually maybe believing that because you read a book or you're listening to my live stream and you're like, yes, the money's coming. But you have these subconscious obsessions with fear and lack and worry and with the way that things have been, right? It's not your fault necessarily because maybe your mom and dad have always lived like this. Hello, my mom and dad they didn't know any better. It's a massive agreement. There's like a collective agreement that a lot of people believe in these things. So for you, you have to come out of those agreements, make your own agreements, and begin living a different way. But you have to understand that people are not going to always agree with it, right? So, oh, there I go. I start getting ghosty. So here's my invitation to you is to start asking, is this choice I am making, is it from love or is it from lack? Is it from love, meaning that I believe that I have equal access to the divine? Choosing from love means that I'm choosing my desires and I'm not abandoning myself. And there becomes this greater awareness around your desire and what's truly your desire versus an ego desire versus a fear and lack desire. Sometimes you can make seemingly abundant choices that are actually made from fear and lack. I have done that. And I've done it out of a need to belong or a need to prove myself in a way. And those things can backfire on you. So you just have to kind of make those distinctions. But I want you to know that when you make a desire that is of your highest good, a priority, life backs you. You back you. Jennifer says she's made the same decisions. So it's like we emotionally and spiritually mature, and we begin to make decisions from what is truly of our highest and best. And if it's a desire that really is from that, it will be backed for us. It doesn't mean that everything will be smooth and easy and graceful, because sometimes we have a lesson to learn. Sometimes there's new information and data that want to come up. So I want you just to play with that today. Am I leading from lack or am I leading from love? And know this, that anytime you are choosing to grow yourself, anytime you are choosing to become more of who you really are, you're always leading from love. You're always leading from love. I feel like, spirit, God, universe, whatever you want to call it, whatever word you give it, I feel like it wants us to recognize who we really are. And because it wants us to recognize who we really are, it will guide us into spaces and places, to the books, to the teachers, to the videos, to the things that will take us there. But again, we have to walk through that portal of possibility and say yes. And only we can do that for ourselves. And it's like, we are given all of the means. And I always say that we're infinitely resourced. We're infinitely resourced because as like the whole 6 degrees of separation, we're always in access to these things that we think are not accessible. But we have to be willing to walk through and say the yes to certain things, right? And I can look back at my life and see the ways that I said yes to things, and it was truly that portal of possibility. I think about when I went to the Tony Robbins event and I didn't have the money for even food when I got there, but that was the event where I saw that I had to write my book, and I went home and I started writing my book. I remember when I felt like I needed help writing my book, so I needed to hire the right developmental editor, and it was $2,000 a month. My rent at the time was $1,500 a month. I was like, this seems impossible, but I started thinking, I need to start choosing from love. I cannot keep allowing lack to lead me. Lack cannot lead my steps, or I am not going to be the woman I'm meant to be. So I remember making that decision that I was going to pay for this woman. I don't know how the hell I was going to pay for it. I was going to do it, and I anchored into it, and I made it a yes. And that next month was the first time I hit my $10,000 month. But it was from like a mind, body, spirit, locked and loaded. Spirit, guide me. Show me what I need to do. I'm in this, right? It wasn't like I need to be logical. I need to ask my husband. I need to do this. Why do I look like a ghost now? So I want you to understand how those things work, right? And now that I'm starting to look like a ghost on here, I think it's time for me to go to the gym. Because the spirit is like, this message is over now. This message is over. Okay. So my friends, I want to... Hi, Melissa. I'm going to... Hold on, guys. I have a pop socket on here. Let me fix it. Okay. So I hope this message has helped you. I want to invite those ladies. I mean, I only have 3 spaces left. Maybe 1 is taken because I know a woman today I spoke to, she's trying to figure out which program she wants to do. And I'm going to trust that she's going to come through and do one of them because I know she's connected to her desire. So for any of you ladies out there that want to come into a 3-month container with me and do some deep work and really unraveling these things and really experiencing what it's like for you to just truly show up from love and to play in that space. Other people in our lives are activators for us. They're alchemists, right? Like, I know my mentor is totally that for me. I came here on this program and I thought I wanted to work on one thing. I came here, totally dropped it. I was like, not this quarter, because I'm in a space of really anchoring into my feminine power and leading my life and business in the feminine, and which does not mean giving up power at all. It actually means activating power more than ever, but from a different space, right? Like a different way of thinking and leading. And in that space, I'm actually making more money doing less, right? And that's not just bullshit. I still work a lot because I love my work. I love what I do, but I get to do things like this, like go away for 3 weeks, and doing all that. I know, Jennifer, I can see that you've been there too. I've been loving your post online and things like that. But since I'm doing that, and with the amount of money I want to make, the impact I want to do and all these things, I'm just doing my life and business differently. But if I never made these investments in myself and followed my desire at the time, it wasn't something I had to go look for. I wasn't like, oh my God, I need a coach. I need to do this. I saw something. It spoke to me. I trusted it. I invested in it, period. And for some women, they're getting the call. The desire is leading them. Love is leading them. The abundance is leading them. They get to that portal, that possibility, that window, and they say no. They say no because logically it doesn't make sense. Financially, it doesn't make sense. Nothing makes financial sense. You get to make it make financial sense by making the choice and calling it in and really being in that co-creative power. So my friends, have a beautiful, beautiful day. Well, you guys are at nighttime, a lot of you. It is, what time is it? It's 9:18 on Friday here. So I am going to go to the gym. I want to go out in town because I want to see cows. You guys don't know this about me. I freaking love cows. Like, cows are like my spirit animal. I love them. They're just so sweet. They're just so cute. That's why I don't eat beef. But I'm going to go out there and see them because they're like laying all around town. I'm not going to touch them, but I'm going to see them. So have a beautiful day. And if you feel called to explore the container to work with me privately, DM me. We can hop on a call and I can tell you what that looks like. All right, my friends. Bye.